Okay, so add to stream. Okay, got it.
Hi,
Okay,
everyone.
can you hear me? Okay, perfect. We're on live for some reason. I don't know how. How's your Sunday going?
I just rolled out of bed like an hour ago.
Well, you look awesome. I got up at 10:30 and I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know. Like, I have to be on live. What am I supposed to do?" And I just ran into the bathroom and I haven't talked to anyone. I told everyone, just get out of the room. I need to do this live.
Same.
Yeah. We're on the same. I don't know. Usually, you know what it is? It's the weekends. I just feel like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not, I'm not on the schedule. So that's,
I did the same thing. It was cute. I looked at your Instagram, Uzma, and I go, "Oh, look, she has someone coming on." Wait, that's me.
exactly. And then you said you were going to be a little late, and I went and changed everything from 11 to 11:15. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well,
So
thanks for
so we're
having me
here. We're
here.
here. That's
You're
yeah.
live.
So
Your
our
background is so beautiful. I just have to say, it looks so beautiful back there. You look warm and comfy.
I know. I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably 60 something where I don't need the fire, but I always like the ambiance in the videos, right? With the fire and the pillow and everything. It just nice and comfy. So today we're going to be answering questions about our vision boards. We had a lot of viewers who asked questions, and so I thought we would answer them today because
All
our
right.
vision board virtual retreat is going to be March 26th to March 28th, and it's going to be amazing. And we already have people signed up, and spaces are going. So we really need people, if they really want to join and they're serious about changing their life, following through, having a purpose, this is the time to do it, right? I always say 2021 is the yes year. It's the year that we're
Yeah.
going to say yes, we're going to make our intentions, and it doesn't matter if it's March. It doesn't matter as long as you take action and you do something, right? So why don't you start off by telling us, for people who are new here, what are vision boards exactly?
Yeah, so just so a lot of people that because I had questions too, wanted to know what was going on. This vision board event that we have coming up may not be for you, but hopefully by the time we're done here today, you'll have a better understanding whether or not you're the kind of person that needs to take action like that. So first off, vision boards are a visual representation of magazine cuttings that we glue on. It's almost like a wish list where you cut things off and you glue them down and you make a wish because of the big goals and dreams that you want to meet, and you do it by cutting and pasting down on a board. But is that really all that's happening there? No, and that's why we're having a 3-day workshop. It's cutting up magazine pieces and putting it on a pasting it on a board isn't just what makes your visions come true. And that's why we're doing a 3-day workshop, so I can explain it. We can go super deep into how to make them. Can you make a vision board without taking a class? Yes, because that's how I started. I started making vision boards by myself, unintentionally, unaware of what I was doing, and I made things happen. And I share that in the workshop. But basically, it's a poster with magazine cutouts of things you hope and dream of having happen.
Okay, awesome. Well, one of the questions somebody asked is this something that is true? Can it really happen? Can your visions really come true? Because these are just magazine pictures that you just cut out, you put on the board, and you're just like, make them come true. How do you explain to people that when you do this, they can come true?
That is a good question because it sounds very fluffy and
Yeah,
magical. Like, why would you cut out a picture of a car and you put it on a poster board and I'm supposed to get a car?
yeah.
That doesn't seem like that could be real. But what it is the magic of a vision board is you cut a picture of a car, you paste it down, and you keep it in your forefront of your focus of what you want to plan out in your future. So if you know that you want a car and it's on your poster board, everything around your day to day will be organized around that thought. And you put energy into the things that you do to make that happen. Like you start putting a savings account away because you know that vision's right there. You start looking at cars. You start deciding whether or not your car that you have is um, is falling apart. You know, how many months do you need? The board is a conscious living space to get the ideas out of your head that you want to happen onto paper, and then it becomes a plan, and that's kind of what the magic is behind it. But it does, there's a lot to it, and I want you to know that that's why we have a 3-day workshop coming up, because we're going to jump on Saturday morning, and I'm going to explain to you the my stories that happened to me, my stories that happened to my kids, my, all the things that happened. And by the way, just a sneak preview, everything on my boards have all come true, and I'm going to explain that in the workshop.
Awesome. I love the way you say that it comes from your head. It has to go from your head onto the board. It's kind of like, you want to just kind of talk about it. It's like our lives, if you don't plan them and don't organize them, then it's always going to be chaotic and you're never going to reach your goal, right? You have to have a plan. Just like when you want to lose weight, you have to say, okay, this is how many calories I'm going to eat. This is what I'm going to eat. This is how much I'm going to work out. So it's kind of like you see it visually and you have something that you work forward towards. That's how the magic happens, because nothing happens by no work. If you work hard and you want to reach your goal, it's kind of like reaching your goal and being able to see what your goal is all together. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That is 100% what I'm saying, and I will show you the work that you have to do, because I mean, I'm not saying it's hard work, but it's intentional work, and that's what this workshop's all about, is showing you the intentional work and what goes behind making intentions happen. Now, I wanted to one of the great things I wanted to share today was that I've been doing a lot of scientific research on how the brain works. And one of the things that I'm discovering is that intentions are cognitive energy you can put into your future. And that sounds very big and and
Yeah.
wild. But that's exactly what a vision board is you are cognitively processing energy behind your intentions. Now, an intention is something that you're aware of. You may be aimlessly, and I have to admit, I've done it before, so don't panic if I say something that sounds like, wait, that's what I'm doing. I went year to year not consciously being aware of my future. I just kind of lived my life and kind of whatever rolled my way happened. And if circumstances blew up in my face, I would be like, I hate that that happened. I was unconsciously unaware of where my path was and what I was doing month to month and week to week and year to year, until I started creating these vision boards. I started to realize, wait, I have the power to lay out my year and kind of guide it gently. And so I started experimenting. This is my 5th year working with vision boards. And now when I create a vision board for my next 12 months, I'm kind of consciously now aware of what my plans are. And it actually predicts how I do my day-to-day business, how I do my socializing, how I do my planning, how I do my financial plans and goals, because I'm conscious. And that's what a vision board does. It creates the consciousness, and it makes it actionable. You take it out, you put it on a board, and you look at it like, okay, well, how do I make these things happen? And that's the conscious work that I'm discovering, that, there's a lot of science behind the vision boards. It's not just fluff. It actually is stuff you can make happen. And if you know the difference between, an intention is a conscious thought that you put energy in. And if you don't have conscious thoughts, you're aimlessly just existing.
Yeah, totally. Like, I talk to a lot of moms and they're all just like, we just wing it. We just go day to day, day to day. And then they wonder why they're upset, why they don't have a purpose, why nothing is going for them, and why every day they're just cooking and cleaning and it's the same routine every day. And they're stuck in the circle or a never ending story. And it's because they don't know what's next. And vision boards are such a great way to find your purpose, figure out what you want to do, and know what's next, because you just don't want to go through life just wandering and wandering and wandering and being like, whatever happens, happens, because that's not going to give you a purpose. Eventually that's going to die and you're going to be like, now what?
Yeah.
And you're going to sink into a hole that you're not comfortable with and you want to figure out how to get out. So vision boards really give you life and energy, I think, and motivation. So you get up every morning, you look at it and you see, oh my gosh, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm doing, because a lot of us, like I work with moms over 40, and a lot of moms over 40, once the kids get older, they look and they like, what am I supposed to do? But if you create a vision board for yourself, then every morning you can get up, this is what I'm going to do. The kids are gone, the partner's doing whatever, everybody else is having their life, and I have something for me. It's really something for yourself. That's so sacred.
Yeah, I have to say that couple things. One, I know that I used to have a lot of things erupt in my life, like toxic relationships with friends and family. And one of the things that I realized with my vision boards was that I could actually control those erupt situations by looking at my vision board and putting boundaries around my time. And the vision boards is something that you can actually time your day-to-day events, activities, commitments, and it's a secret thing behind vision boards, because I'm telling you, people think, oh, I'm just going to come and cut some magazines. It's so powerful. There's so much power behind these things. The other thing I want to say was, and I am not a therapist, just to make it clear here that I am not a psychologist or a therapist, but if you do a vision board, you might save yourself some money by going and hiring a therapist to help you figure out your life, because you can be sitting there for months on end trying to, and I'm not saying replace therapy, because I'm being very clear here, but you may be one person. I have a friend who gets therapy lessons. I mean, not therapy, she has therapy sessions. And I asked her, well, do you have some trauma you're working through? She said, no, I'm just trying to figure out my life. And I'm like, you're doing that with a therapist? I'm like, okay, well, that works, and go ahead and do that. I go, but I promise you, if you do that and maybe a vision board, that might help you, because the vision boards give you, they give you clarity on what your existence is and what you need to do. But again, I am not a therapist, and I am not saying drop your therapist. I'm just saying you might find that, a vision board might make you have almost open your eyes to, like, oh, wait a minute. I know my big passions, and I know what I need to do. And they're really good ways to, motivate you to get stuff done.
Exactly. I love the word clarity, and I can say for myself, like, when my kids left, I was wondering what I should do, and then when the pandemic hit, for a while, a lot of us were just like so like stuck. We didn't know what to do. We couldn't go out. We weren't used to being at home and everything, and then we just got so used to being at home that now going out is like, oh my gosh, right? Before, when we couldn't go out, we were upset, and now that we can go out, we're upset. And
What? I have a
it's
story.
totally the opposite.
Yeah.
We were crying because we had to, stay home and we couldn't go out. Now we're crying because we have to meet people and go out. So it's totally opposite, but people are feeling stuck now. And around November, I said, I cannot be doing this. I cannot be stuck anymore. And I started making my intentions. I started moving forward and having a plan of action. And literally, doors opened. Like, my businesses started flourishing. I started becoming more confident. I had something to do every day. Otherwise, I was sitting on the couch watching Netflix, feeling like a victim, like not having a purpose. What am I supposed to do? And literally, you and I talked about it. Our winter went by so fast. We didn't even realize that the winter months went by and how many months have just flown by, because we had intentions and we had a focus. And it's been so awesome during the pandemic to have that focus.
Yeah, and a vision board doesn't mean you have to start a business. Just letting you folks
Yeah.
know out there. I'm not saying start a business. It could
Yeah.
help you do a hobby that you've been trying so hard to get motivated to do. It can help you get your nutrition, in control, like me. That was one of the big ones that I've always put on mine, is my nutrition and my sleep. It could be, organizing your house, bettering your relationships with your family and your kids. Believe it or not, those are the things you can put on your vision board. Making extra money, it doesn't have to be running a business. It could be, a side hustle, a side business that you do like an hour a week or something like that. Basically it's a visual planning board.
Right. And it can be for anything. I'm not saying it's just for business. It can be for life, it can be for health, like you said, family, travel, whatever you want in your life. Whatever your desires are, it's right on that board. And it's so amazing when you do a vision board to see, like, this is what I want. These are my desires. This is my purpose. It's all in one place. So it's not in every category all over your head, or one day I want to travel, one day I want to do this. It's not scattered. It's all in one place. And when you look at it, it gives you shivers. It's just like, this is it. It's just so amazing.
Well, yeah, I think when I look at mine all the time, I look at mine and I'll be like, whoa, wow, I have a lot I want to do, but it really makes me think, oh, I want a lot of things. So then I need to keep attentive to what my focus is.
Exactly. Yeah. So what would you say to skeptics who are just like, okay, these two women are on here and they're talking about vision boards, and, this is, what is this? You know, is this
Yeah.
really going to true? What is this? What do you say to skeptics or people who've never done it before? You know,
Okay. Well,
what
first
have you
off,
had people who have never done it before and all of a sudden they do it and they're like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
I believe, you know?
Well, um, again, it's not woo woo, and what it is organization of your life. I have a client who came to my vision board party 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and I did it in the summer. She came and did the vision board party, and then a year later, she came back. We reunited and we did a vision board, and she revealed, guess what? And she's all, everything on this board came true. I made 200,000 this year. And I'm not saying it was a good thing, because we found some bad things about it. And she was like, I didn't believe these work. Now I have to do one every year because it helped me really. She goes, I had that board right above my desk and I focused on that thing. And every day I got up and I just looked at it. I lived and breathed my actions, but they work. It's almost like a to-do list. And I've shared this, and I'll share it in the workshop. It's been reported that, you know, people who take their list and write it down on a piece of paper make it an imprint on their brain and make it happen, you know. But I'm an art, just to give you some background, I didn't just pop up to do vision boards. It's one of the side things I do. I'm actually a professional artist, and I travel internationally. And before the pandemic, I was traveling internationally for the last 10 years, training and doing art. I teach teachers in schools how to bring art literacy into the classrooms. My whole business was fueled on my vision boards. My vision boards were, it's an interesting story, which I share in the vision board party, but all the things that I put on my board had to do with all the things I secretly wanted to do. And somehow I weaved those vision board desires into my business and I made them happen. But I'm an art teacher, you know, on the side. Uzma is about, you know, yoga and health and helping women, you know,
Empower themselves.
empower themselves. And and we came together thinking, you know, vision boards might be a fun way, you know, that is a little bit of me and a little bit of you. And that's what we're doing here. Is we're not, you know, we're just, you know, not popping up and saying, do a vision board. It's the new wave of things. It's just a fun way to do something. But I do know one thing, it takes deep work to do these. And that's why I recommend the 3 days, because the first day, we're not just going to start cutting pieces of paper. I'm going to take you through some exercises that are really going to open your mind up and look at, what am I consciously doing with myself? You know, I'm going to give you some hard questions that you're going to work through. And then I'm going to give you some exercises. And then after we do these exercises, you're going to start to get clarity of what's important to yourself, you know, and then you're going to go and cut these up and put them on the board. And so I hope that answers that question. You know,
Yeah. No. I mean, you're going to bring clarity. You're going to teach them how to do vision boards. And I'm going to do some meditation and some yoga to help open up and create space, because so many of us are closed inside. We think we're not creative. Our creative energy is all hidden inside. And we'll do yoga to calm the body down and meditation to open up so that when you do your vision boards, you are in that frame of mind. You are in that circle. That's why a 3-day retreat is really good, because you're just so in that whole world of just creating space, creating vision boards, intentions. And it's going to be a safe space where people want to say something or talk. They're able to really talk to us, talk to you, and find clarity. The word clarity just keeps on coming up, and intentions in their life to move forward. And maybe if they're stuck somewhere, you know, you can help them work through that, and they can put that on the board as well, so that they can, you know, have the meaning in their life. Because I feel like so many people have lost meaning, so many people have lost joy, or not as content as we want to, and the vision boards can awaken those feelings.
yeah. One of the things I do like about what we're doing is I like the component that you bring to the table. I love the time to breathe, time to reflect, time to look inward, because that's something we don't do. We don't actually, well, you do, because this is what you do. You practice it. I am weak at this part, and this is the part I'm loving that you're bringing to me, and it's something that's on my vision board, is I want to start spending more time reflecting inward and really like consciously thinking deep thoughts about, giving myself the positive motivation I need to be healthy and have healthy relationships. But I love that there's a space that we built into this weekend where we're actually taking a moment to look inward and create that space for abundance, and I'm excited about that part. And that, like I said, it's on my vision board. I actually made one yesterday, and there's like a space right there where I'm like, I need to be in a room like you are, your lovely room, and build that space for myself to, just breathe and think about things and give to myself, because I love your message about that is, I'm a mother. I worry about everybody else, and I haven't had time for myself. And, in fact, I had more conversations with my kids. My second kid told me he wants to move out, and I was like, I'm losing touch. I'm losing that. My second child that wants to, leave the nest too. And so, I'm starting to realize, oh, it's me time now.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's very hard to actually be like, okay, it's me time. Now let me just focus on me, because your mind is still thinking about the kids. Instead of focusing on you and thinking about you time, you're thinking about, oh my gosh, where is he going to move? What is he going to do? Is he going to be okay? How is he going to live? So you're not even focusing on you. You're still focusing on them. And that's okay as a mom, as long as you come back to yourself. Because as a mom, you're always going to be attached with a string to your kids. You're always going to worry. Like the other day, when I was on the phone with you, your son was driving 3 hours, and you were just like, you were focused, but you were like, I hope he's going to be okay on the 3-hour drive. And that's a mom thing. And that's, that's okay. Right. And that's what this weekend is going to be about. It's going to be about learning to come inwards, learning to be okay with yourself, and opening up that creativity. And the vision board is going to be something that you create with Swarmani that is just for you. Right? Because we don't do anything just for ourselves. Just like when I used to do the Metamorphosis Mom box, I wrapped everything up, and moms would say, oh my gosh, it's all for me and it's all wrapped up. When you get something for yourself, that feeling is so awesome, and it fills you up, right? Yeah. And then you can be authentic and real to everybody else. If you know what your goals are and you're happy and you have that vision board and you feel like you have a purpose, you are going to be a totally different person. Your mindset is going to be so different towards everybody else in life, right? Because when you don't have a purpose and you're all over the place and not a plan, you're not the happiest and the person you want to be, I don't think.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you mentioned about the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, I was like everybody else. I was thrown for a loop. Everybody in our family was affected in every situation, from education to work to purpose to, just socialization. One of the things that happened was I kept working, like you said, I kept working through it. And a lot of my friends were checking in with me, like, how are you? I'm like, I'm busy. I'm still going. I'm doing things. And I attribute that to my planning, because people are like, how are you thriving? How are you still, going and doing well? I'm like, well, I have things I have to still do, but I'm just adjusted how I'm doing them. But I think because I had the vision board, like I still have a vision. I still have things I have to do, so I will say it helped me through this year, just having it there. And I'm going to pick right up after. Things are starting to open up, very slowly, but it was like a time warp, pandemic was a time warp, and I'm just going to grab my board and continue on with my dreams, because I still want them to come true, I'm not going to let the pandemic shift my life like that.
Exactly. So if anybody has any questions, you're, just post them below. And if on the replay, you're also welcome to ask questions, and then Swarmani and I will answer them back as well. We also have a question. Let's see. Can the board help you when you're feeling stuck? We answered that question. That was a question that we had. It can help you.
Yeah, because you'll go back to it, and you'll reassess your life. Like a stuck feeling comes from no clarity, because you're stuck in time and space with no direction and no plan. So if you get stuck, because I know what that stuck's like. I was stuck for a lot of years, and I just didn't know how to work it. And that's what this workshop is. I'm showing you exactly how to unstuck your life. I went through it. I got stuck. I'm no longer stuck anymore. I now have forward moving momentum in my life. in every direction. Every year I reassess my life. I do the life audit, which I'm going to do in the workshop, which is an exercise where every year I reevaluate everything that goes on in my life. And then when I go to do my vision board, I want to make sure that, I'm giving attention to everything in my life. And my vision board has everything in my life. It has my kids, it has my relationship, it has my spirituality, it has my hobbies, it has my hidden desires for my health and nutrition and physical wellness. It has my colleague relationships, it has my business relationship, it has my money goals, my saving goals, it has my vacation on there that I want to take. These boards truly can encompass every part of your life. So you won't get stuck after you start doing vision boards. You're just going to start playing with them. I start having a lot of fun with them. You will start to use them in a very fun and playful way, and you'll realize this is fun. I have to do it. My client was like, I have to do it every year with you, and I will be there.
Yeah. Like, I think, I just want to say that every woman goes through a phase where they're stuck. I don't think there's anyone, whether it's in the beginning of your life, middle or end or whatever. I've been stuck. And a lot of moms that I talk to are stuck, and then some have gotten out of it. Some are still stuck. So that's why I think vision boards are so important. And, which brings me to the question, how long does it take to do a vision board? Like what is the time frame? Can it take 1 hour? Can it take 6 hours? I guess, does it depend on what time you want to put in it?
I think, well, yeah, it always depends on the time you want to put in yourself and invest in yourself. I don't believe you can sit down with a magazine and cut it up and be done within 1 hour and done. I mean, you can do a generalized one, put it up and get it started. But I think what happens is, and I catch myself doing it because I did it yesterday. You start looking at what you're putting on there. You start thinking about, well, do I really want that? What is it I want about that? Exactly what I want. And then you start looking through magazines. There's the word I wanted to capture. There's a picture I want to capture. I think it should take an afternoon, like 3 to 4 hours, whether that's with people or independently. You can start off by planning what you want on there, getting some clarity, doing some exercises for yourself, like, doing your priority list, and then going through magazines and kind of lay it on the board without gluing it down, and just kind of look at it for a few hours and ask yourself, if this is up on the wall, is it something I want to look at? Am I missing something? Is there something that, I forgot to include? And don't glue it down, kind of rearrange it. Like mine is not glued down. Mine's right beside me. I want to show you my my messy house, but I wanted to show you it's right beside me, all messy. I really wish I'd have prepared for this, but you might see kind of see. Oops.
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, all sitting right there in pieces. It's not.
Have you not glued it down because you're still working with it to decide on what you want?
Yeah, nothing's glued down because I realize, I'm like, wait, I realize I missed, because it's a metaphor. By the way, if you don't know what metaphors are, there's a lot of hidden messages. It doesn't exactly, like I have a clock here that I'm going to be pasting down, and the clock is a constant reminder to me that I need to efficiently manage my time well. And if I don't manage my time well, a lot of these things are going to take longer for me to do. And so I realized, I'm like, oh no, that is the focal point of my board. I need to find a bigger clock. So I didn't want to paste it down. I'm like, oh, well, if I can't find a bigger clock, I'm going to draw one, So I haven't pasted it down yet because, like I said, I have fun with these. I use all kinds of crazy fun clippings and things. I can just show you, like I have this piece right here I found in a magazine of, I'm very organic and natural, and this so represents me. In my business, I use only organic and natural, products in my day-to-day house. I love dirt. I love plants. So I'm not yet ready to commit, but I am going to glue it all down tonight. I'm going to get it down, because if you don't get it up, it's not going to happen. You can't procrastinate, and it can be perfect. And that's what I want to tell you is, don't worry about it being perfect, because that's not what this is all about. It's about just getting it up and having like a fun, whimsical wish list.
Now, if you have it up because, you have the pictures, can you cut out more pictures and keep on pasting them on as the inspiration comes and as you think of ideas? Because sometimes as a beginner, you might do it and then later on be like, oh, I should have put that on. I should have said that word. Can you add that on your board throughout the year, or is it finalized?
No, there is no wrong or right in doing this. It's yours. You can do whatever you want. That's the
Okay,
beauty.
good.
If you see a magazine like, oh my God, this is, because I do that all the time. I'll be like, oh my God, I want to go here. And I'll just rip the page out and I'll cut it up and then I won't paste it. And I'm like, oh, I should have pasted. I just slap it on there because I have this aesthetic designer thing
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
that gets in the way. But no, it's yours. Keep adding it. I mean, wouldn't it be great to keep adding things that you can, just as you see them, like, I used to do that. I used to save magazines and I didn't realize it. I wasn't vision boarding, but I was saving magazines because there was something in there that I wanted to go back and investigate because I wanted to go to this restaurant, or I was almost vision boarding in all my magazines, but not cutting them and pasting them down.
That's what I used to do. And then I had so many magazines, and I didn't know which page the thing that I wanted was in, right? So what I started doing was I just started ripping out the page, and then I had all these pages, and it was much easier to look at them.
Yeah, so
right?
then you can just cut those off and put them on a board, and that's
amazing. I love that. Yes, when I was talking to some moms about vision boards, they also mentioned to me they don't have time. And that's, I don't want to say that's an excuse, but for me, that's an excuse when we say we don't have time, because we have time to go out for coffee. We have time to go for lunch. We have time to watch Netflix. And this is something that is for you. That's really important. And I feel like when you say that's not in time, you don't have time, you're telling yourself that you're not worthy enough and that it's not something that is really meaningful for you in your life. What do you say to moms who say, I don't have time?
That's where that stuck comes from. If you decide I'm stuck and this happened and I didn't want that to happen, that's exactly what happened. Is you didn't give yourself time. That is an excuse, and I wouldn't use it. I'd really look in the mirror and say I'm worth it. I value myself. And cutting, even you don't have to do a vision board, but maybe you might want to journal, or maybe you might want to take notes, but you do need to invest in yourself. And I just don't believe that's an excuse. I believe that that's part of the unclarity, being unclear, having no intention, just kind of mindlessly going through life, thinking everybody else is important. I've done that. I'm not saying it's wrong and you're a bad person. I'm just saying, I know that I always used to say, why do these things keep happening to me? Because I didn't have clarity on what the situations were doing to me and if I needed them. And I go back to the toxic relationships. I would, if I didn't have a vision board and if my phone rings and my girlfriends call and say, hey, do you want to go do this? And I'd say yes, because I had nothing to check on, or nothing that I had going on. I just said yes, yes, yes to everything and everybody else's wishes. Everyone would call me all the time for like, there was like a year that I just didn't plan nothing. I was at home, the phone would ring and they'd say, you want to go here? And I'd go there. And then by the end of the week, I'd be frustrated because a lot of things happened that I didn't like, or I didn't want for me. And I'm like, God, I'm so frustrated. I got stuck doing this and doing that. And then now when I do my vision boards, I realize, well, that's because I didn't give any attention to what I wanted, and I had no boundaries, and I had no ideas for myself. And I really, really want to implore that you should give yourself an hour a year. I mean, what we have 168 hours a week. Just okay. This is where I kick butt here. We have 160. I give this lecture to my clients. I life coach several clients, and I tell them every time I go, are you aware that you have 168 hours in every week? And every week you have 168 hours. What are you doing in the 168 hours? And I'll say, calculate how many hours you're watching Netflix. And they're just, whoa, I had no idea I was giving Netflix 8 hours a week. I mean, 8 hours a day. And I'm like, yeah, you're giving them 4 hours of your time when you could take 30 minutes to do, you can give yourself 15 minutes a day just to check your to-do list, check your calendar, look at
close your eyes, take a breath, do a facial, whatever, just something for yourself. But I really feel a lot of the excuses of I can't do this is so much, I don't know about vision boards, is also fear, right?
Yeah.
We think a lot of it is fear that's stuck, that what if I discover or find out something that I don't like? Or what if I don't like where I am now? The vision board might explore that. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
don't you think I don't have time is also an excuse of fear that a lot of women
well,
have?
I'll be honest with you. So my client who made $200,000, she came back the following year. She was excited that she made $200,000, but I did a lifestyle audit and I found out there was a lot of lacking in her life and a lot of bad things that did happen. And so she could either A, say these things don't work. I don't like what happened. Or she could do B, which she did was like reevaluate and look at like, well, I got what I wanted, but I was so sick, working so many hours and, I developed this condition and I didn't have time for my family. And we did this exercise where I said, well, we're going to do a lifestyle audit and I want you to evaluate your life. We did the exercise and she realized, oh, okay, I see what I did. I did get negativity out from my vision board, but now I know how to plan for the next one. And I know what needs to go on the board because there is this thing I tell everyone that it comes into my spaces. I always tell them, be careful what you wish for because you will get it.
Yeah.
And if you don't plan right, you will get it. Like I've gotten everything I've asked for, and sometimes it's too much.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
whoa.
Yeah, or sometimes, it comes in your life where you think about something and you're like, oh, that'll never happen. And then like 10 years later, you're like, I thought about this and it happened. So things do happen. So be careful what you think
I
about,
was on
right?
the airplane. I was on an airplane flying all over the world and constantly and exhausted.
Yeah.
And I went to Bali, to China, back home, to the US, to Canada, to Mexico all in 1 year, just exhausted because I wanted to travel. And now it was crazy. I mean, you see pictures of my old trainings. I'm like, wow, I look tired in all those trainings because I got what I wished for. So there is a balance.
Well, that's not a bad wish, right? It's a good wish. Okay. I have another question that somebody asked was, they have a career and they're thinking about changing it. Is this going to help in their changing of career? Because a lot of women nowadays with the pandemic, had office jobs and had corporate jobs, and now they're going to like life coaching or doing something more online. Will vision boards help them in their crossover
Um,
if they're confused about which path to take? Like say like they want to leave corporate and they're thinking about something else. Can vision boards help them figure out what they need to do or what they should be doing?
I'm going to say, if you do a vision board by yourself, the answer is I'm not sure. I don't know. But if you take a vision board party with me and I will be there to coach you right through it. And the answer is, if you're with us, I can guarantee I will help you decide what path to take. Because I'm the fun thing about doing this vision board party with you and I is you get Uzma and I coaching. You have us at your disposal for the 3 days and beyond. You can email us and you can, that's part of the perk we didn't say is you can ask questions and you can give us scenarios in your real life and we will be there to help you, see clearly what decisions, you might want to take. And that's what's fun about the lifestyle audit is I continually ask the question, you'll tell me, well, I'm stuck and I don't know if I should go to work or I should start my own business or I should stay home and raise the kids or I should leave the house and get a job. And the lifestyle audit will help you understand like, well, what you really need to do for yourself, and what's going to make you get up every morning to go to work. So there is no way that a vision board can help you do that, but it can just give you a lot of clarity. And if you take it with us, you're going to get the coaching that you get with this 3-day workshop.
Yeah. Which brings me back to investing in yourself. It's so important for us to invest in yourself. And even if it's a little 3-day workshop like this, which is going to bring you so much value, it's so important to start. It just takes baby steps. It's really hard to invest because, when, people want to invest, they're like, well, I have this to do. I have that to do. I don't know I'll have time. But what I've realized is the more you invest in yourself, the more you want to keep on investing, the more you grow, the more it's amazing. And investing in this is really, I think, the first step to anything else, because I believe yoga and visualization and boards are going to give you your foundation and your base From
Yeah.
here, you can invest anywhere else. You can have ideas. It'll help you move forward. So investing in this workshop is going to be so valuable for anybody who does.
Yeah, I do have a lot to say about that. So this training is 167 um, for 3 days, and I just invested $600 in myself to do my own vision boarding. If you remember, Uzma, a couple weeks ago, I went and checked out and went into a hotel because I had to strategically plan out my year. I own a business and I run my own life. I run my family, I run my business, I run, I'm a virtual art teacher. I invested a lot of money and I looked at it as if I, a lot of people were like, well, why are you putting so much money into planning? And I said, because if I spend time upfront planning my whole 12 months, I will save myself a lot of money in the long run. $167 is not too much to think about how it could autocorrect a lot of miss spending. Like if you have a vision like I want to buy a car, you're going to be very focused on that car and the planning that you put into it and the ideas you want to do at the end of the year. You're going to be able to put the boundaries down and say, I'm not going to go out every week and go to the movies and go to Starbucks and eat out constantly because I have a vision here. So you're going to pay yourself back if that's what the question was, like, am I worth $167?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I was probably, my friend made $200,000. I want to give you a little bit story about her, by the way. So her husband was a breadwinner in their life, and he took care of everything. And then she got a job virtually online, and she was able to do training online for this company. And then she took my vision board party, moved her family overseas to Hawaii, and the pandemic hit. And because she had clarity and she had already taken the vision board party, he couldn't work. And she took over because she had full intention and clarity and knew what she had to do to increase her income to take care of the family. And he was just like, and I will tell you the story because she's also my client. Every week I check in with her and she struggled. I'm not saying it just happens magically. It's work, trust me. But because she has this tight vision of I know what my weeks look like. I know that I can say yes and work. I know that I can make us money if you help me with the kids. He took over the role of the caregiving for the kids while she was on Zoom doing her trainings every single day. And she made the money. And it was because she had she had strength in her clarity. I hope that kind of ties back what you were, you originally asked, but using this that way, can yield these results.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, investing in yourself, just a small amount. You know what I mean? If you have to quit a,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
what I wanted.
yeah,
That came back to me. I lost my mind. That's what I want to say is when I first started doing this, she came just for an afternoon and paid $35, to do my first vision board party in my backyard. And she invested $35 and got 200,000. This year she paid the 167
yeah,
and she's doing she's doing three weekend workshops with me over time. We did our first one last Saturday and we did our second one Friday. But to her, the investment is a drop. It's not, it's, it's, first of all, this is for someone who has the money. I don't want you guys spending the money if you don't have the money. If you don't have the money, that's okay. Don't worry about this. There's other opportunities to vision boards. I do smaller workshops, but this is for someone who, has comfortable 167 that spends a lot of money, on other things. It says, I think I'm going to direct my money into getting some clarity this year.
yeah. Investing in myself, figuring out what my goals are. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just such a thing that I find that so many moms, so many women have a hard time doing. And I just want to let everyone know that it is hard. The first time is hard. And once you start doing it and you do something for yourself, you're filling yourself up with energy and you're doing it for your future. right? It's not just a one-time thing. It's not that you're doing the, vision board, doing the yoga, and you're done. This is something that is going to help you progress and transform in the future, because a lot of things you just pay for and that's it. Just like a manicure, you pay for and it's it. A facial you pay for, it feels good, and that's it. This is really investing in your insides and your whole future. So it's not just a one-time thing. So that's what I want everybody to know. Yeah.
That's great. I love that. It's a great way of saying that. You're investing in your insides, your cognitive inside, your brain.
Exactly. And it's something that's going to last forever. It's not just a one-time thing. And that's what I want people to know, is that when you join a retreat, when you join any of these things, it's really, taking care of your inside so that you can blossom and live on the outside. Not just a quick fix that, in a day or in an hour, you're going to be like, now what, right? Because as women, you need to fill up your inside and move forward and really enjoy every day and have that joy inside and have that contentment, because we go too much up and down. What we need to do is keep that line where we're always content and always with happy and never comparing, never looking at anyone, because we have our purpose and our vision. And that's what the vision board is going to do. It's going to give us our purpose. So we don't have to look at, oh, Joe has this car or Jeannie has this house or they went on that vacation, because our mind is just like, this is mine, right? Because that's what we tend to do.
Oh, I did that for years when I was a young couple, when we were a young couple. It's funny because when you're younger, you don't realize that you're doing that. You're, the neighbors they went on vacation. I want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Even though that I didn't check in with myself, I wanted what my neighbors had, oh my God, they got their kids a slide and this, and, a playground set in the backyard. And I just need to keep up with the Joneses. That I got caught up in that. And I didn't realize, after getting all those things, and I got all those things, that I wasn't content inside.
No, because you're still looking for more. If the neighbor's kids got slides and your kid didn't have a slide, then your kid is going to have a worse childhood because they didn't have the slide. Your child's not going to have a good childhood at all because they have the slide. So the slide made them happier. It's so common. You know what I mean? It's with everybody. And as you get older, you start changing and you start growing and you start realizing that that's not what you want. And then when you realize that, you don't know how to find what you want. And that's what happens. Like chaos happens. You don't know where to look. And that's why the vision boards and the yoga are so important as a combination, because it will stop you from having to look. You stop looking because you found it. Just imagine when you found it, how good you will feel. Imagine how you'll feel when you have found it. That feeling of relief and contentment. I just get shivers thinking about it. When you think about, I found it. It's there. It's in me. It's all mine. Those are words that you should be thinking about and saying and finding things in your life to help you create those feelings.
Yeah, there's other things about the vision board that you can tap into too. One of the things I say is we have a lot of negative thoughts and negative things that we tell ourselves on a regular basis. We're our worst enemy. We will get up in the morning and say, "Oh, you look fat. You look old. You're not as good as that person." And we have a lot of self-negative feeding that we're looping back and forth in our mind. And the vision boards can help you kind of fix that a little bit. I remember saying, God, I do say negative. I say such mean things to myself, and I really want to change that. And so I had to write down some really beautiful statements that I wanted someone, like you dream of, I want someone to tell me that I'm beautiful. And so I actually wrote down a big bold letter, "You are beautiful," and I put it on that board, to get that negative, to start training my brain to say nicer things like, okay, you are a beautiful person. You may not be what you want, in your ideal mind, what you want to look like, but you are a beautiful person and you're a honest person. You're a friendly person. I had to write those words down. So the vision board can work that way too. It can be a good way to put things that you need to be told, that you need to be told on a regular basis. And you need to look at it and go, I'm a hard worker. I'm a beautiful person. I'm an honest person,
Yeah, affirmations are so powerful, and we have that power in there. We just need to believe in ourselves. So, Ramani, is there anything else you'd like anyone to know about our vision board virtual retreat?
Well, we're going to have fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I again, if you are that person who's ready to, have clarity, get intention, we really want to invite you to join us. Luzman and I are doing this for the first time together. We're excited. It's not something we're going to do. I don't know if we have plans to do it again. This is our one opportunity to do it together. So this year, maybe next year, but we hope you join us.
Exactly. So once again, it's March 26th to March 28th. I will put the link below,
Oh,
and don't miss out on this opportunity because she is amazing. Spermani is amazing at what she does, and once you take a class with her, you'll just get addicted to her. Let me just tell you.
can I just tell everybody how
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to unfold? So we are doing this virtually. It means you're going to be just like Uzma, sitting all
yeah.
comfortable in your own home. You're going to get your laptop. You're going to check in on Friday. We're going to do some yoga, um, make some space for yourself. It's just going to be a check-in. It's going to be a really nice kickoff. And then Saturday morning, you're going to grab your workbook. You're getting, if you sign up, you get a workbook, and then we'll get to work in the morning. We'll take a break. You'll if you're trying to plan, like, how can I get rid of the family? You don't have to get rid of the family. You can just, pick a room and tell everybody, I'm going to be busy on the laptop. You'll be able to jump out at lunchtime, be with your family, and come back in. But we're doing this right here on lap, just like Uzma and I jumped in my kitchen and she's in her living room. That's how we're doing this.
Exactly. Very easy, very simple. And we are going to tell you the supplies ahead of time. You will
Yes,
know
yes.
what supplies to get ahead of time. So it's going to be a no stress weekend. It's just going to be for you to enjoy and relax and have good time with ladies and friends, right? Because we're going to be on Zoom, so we can talk with each other, we can ask questions, and it's just going to be a party weekend for you. Just imagine, like, when you go off with your girlfriends, if you do, you're going to have your girlfriends at home, and you can be in your pajamas if you want. It doesn't matter. It
Yoga
really
stuff.
doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll probably get in my, Sunday morning, I'll probably be in my pajamas, when we get up in the morning and we do the vision boards together. It doesn't matter what your hair looks like. You don't have to wear makeup. Just come and focus on yourself. It's in your
Yeah,
own safe environment.
you'll just need, like, a tabletop to have your board, your magazines, your
Yeah.
scissors, and that stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
Okay.
for
Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you again. I will link everything at the bottom in all the pages. And that way everybody can join. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I'm so excited. I think there's one weekend in between left now.
yeah.
So we're almost there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to start. Like, I've started mine, but I'm going to come to the vision board and kind of complete it with you also, because I've got some really good questions to ask.
Awesome. Looking
Awesome.
forward to
Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.